Hello and welcome to Chai Chat with Lavina. Every year, about 2 or 3 home loan property shows we keep seeing popping up in London and in UK and everywhere. Now, today I really want to understand on practical terms, on the basis of tips and everything, the whole proposition of buying a house in India and why should we buy in India if you're living in UK, and if you're looking at investment, then what are the ups and downs and pluses minuses. So I have the industry people here with me. And thank you very, very much for your time. I have investment advisors, I have the country head here of India Bulls, and I have developers here, and from India and the UK. So that's really good. Thank you very much for your time. तो सबसे पहला सवाल तो मेरा यही है कि इंडिया और यूके दोनों जगह जैसे हम यहाँ रह रहे हैं, what are the differences of buying a property in India and the UK? Should I go to you first or should I go to you? Whatever. Whoever can answer, you know. ये हम chat कर रहे हैं.
Yeah.
तो
I think just to start the conversation, and I'm sure my colleagues can take over.
Yeah.
Primarily, what we are catering to right now, at least in this event, and what our business caters to are the NRIs, who are non-resident Indians and people who are PIOs, person of Indian origin. Now, principally, some of them are already well settled here, who already have properties.
Yes.
The whole idea about them engaging with India is, one is to engage with the community, engage with their family, engage with their relatives also. And the second part comes in is the investment part. India has been a very attractive investment destination, at least in the last 5 years. The new government has been taking very good steps in terms of regulation, in terms of, in taxation and other things to promote industry to go to a next level. Real estate has been going through a big, kind of a turnaround right now. We'll see a lot of changes. So one is investment part, one is the emotional aspect part. The emotional aspect will always stay. Mandeep, I'm sure, can talk a little bit about the investment part, which has been engaging the NRIs now to be in touch with India in terms of returns, what they're getting vis-a-vis UK.
हाँ नहीं, मनदीप आप मुझे बताएं कि प्रोसेसेस में, जैसे हम जब इंडिया से आए थे तो ये मॉर्गेज क्या होता है नहीं समझ में आता था. नाउ वी अंडरस्टैंड कि हम EMI बोलते हैं, यहाँ मॉर्गेज बोलते हैं. इसी तरह प्रोसेसेस में भी काफ़ी फ़र्क होता है. सो व्हाट पीपल फ्रॉम हियर माइट नॉट नो इंडिया का पूरा प्रोसेस.
आई थिंक कि हर जो इंडिया से लोग आए हैं दे ऑलरेडी नो कि होम लोन बोलते हैं इंडिया में. यहाँ पे दे सी एज अ मॉर्गेज कि यहाँ पे मॉर्गेज है. यहाँ पे मॉर्गेज इज़ वेरी इजी इन टर्म्स ऑफ कि आप बैंक में जाते हो, यू डोंट नीड इवन टू गो टू बैंक, यू जस्ट अप्लाई ऑनलाइन. आपको अपना अफोर्डेबिलिटी ऑनलाइन मिल जाता है. आपको आपका मॉर्गेज का अप्रूवल ऑनलाइन मिल जाता है. दैट इज़ स्टिल फार बेटर फ्रॉम इंडिया एट द मोमेंट. इन यूके इंडिया में इट्स मोर की डॉक्यूमेंट्स अभी इंडिया बुल जैसे अभी वो अपना एक ऑनलाइन पोर्टल लेके आए हैं जिससे पीपल कैन सी देयर अफोर्डेबिलिटी और एलिजिबिलिटी टू
क्रेडिट चेक जिसे हम कहते हैं.
क्रेडिट चेक भी बोल सकते हैं. पहले इंडिया में क्रेडिट चेक नहीं होता था, अभी सिबिल आ गया है तो क्रेडिट चेक भी ऑनलाइन हो गया है. तो हर बैंक ऑनलाइन जाके हर आदमी का क्रेडिट चेक देख सकता है.
पर इंटरनेशनल जैसे हम खरीद रहे हैं तो हमारा भी देख लेगा
इंडिया में देख लेगा, बिकॉज हमारा भी एक क्रेडिट चेक इंडिया में ऑलरेडी है. जैसे आज मैं 10 साल पहले इंडिया से आया हूँ, तो मेरा एक पैन कार्ड था, मैं जॉब करता था, मैंने टैक्स भरा इंडिया में, तो मेरा क्रेडिट हिस्ट्री इंडिया में ऑलरेडी क्रिएट हो चुका है. वो 10 साल बाद दोबारा जब मैं, क्योंकि पैन कार्ड इज यूनिक नंबर, तो जब मैं 10 साल बाद दोबारा प्रॉपर्टी खरीदने जाता हूँ इंडिया में, तो मेरा ऑलरेडी हिस्ट्री बना हुआ है. बैंक्स में मेरे अकाउंट थे 10-15 साल पहले, तो वो मेरा क्रेडिट हिस्ट्री ऑलरेडी बैंक ने ऑलरेडी सिबिल जैसी कंपनीज को सबमिट किया है, तो माई क्रेडिट हिस्ट्री ऑलरेडी देयर. वहाँ पे बैंक्स को एक कॉन्फिडेंस आता है कि क्लाइंट का कोई डिफ़ॉल्ट तो नहीं है, क्लाइंट का क्रेडिट हिस्ट्री इजी है. ये सब पिछले 5 साल में आया है. उसके पहले ये सब चीज़ें नहीं थी इंडिया में, जिसके कारण क्लाइंट्स को काफ़ी स्ट्रगल करना पड़ता था. उनको काफ़ी सारे डॉक्यूमेंट्स देने पड़ते थे, प्रूव करना पड़ता था दे आर द लेजिट इन्वेस्टर्स और लेजिट होम बायर्स.
तो मैं ब्रेक डाउन करती हूँ. एक तो जिससे भी यहाँ पे PIO और OCI कार्ड है वो भारत में प्रॉपर्टी खरीद सकता है. Is that correct?
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
So that is one part of the documentation. What is the other process? What does one person needs to do if they want to buy a property?
So that way, I'll tell you that. So I'm part of the Mahindra Group. the whole idea out here is to make it a hassle-free experience for the customer. So like Percy said, I mean, we're moving to a very positive side of trying to make it very hassle-free with the online application. So similarly out here, a person sitting out here can very easily buy a property by just
I want to
submitting these
understand
documents.
that easy. So we need to have first our eligibility of being OCI and PIO.
Yeah.
Let's move on
That's
from
the first
Now,
criteria.
Step number 2.
I mean, if you ask me, that's the only criteria. As long as he has an OCI card or which is now moved from PIO, he's eligible to buy a property in India.
आपको यहाँ पे अगर मैं यहाँ पे जॉब करता हूँ या मेरी इनकम यहाँ से है, मेरी इंडिया में कोई इनकम नहीं है, आप मेरे क्रेडिट स्कोर इंडिया में देख सकते हैं, बट वो इतने अच्छे नहीं होंगे. आपको मेरा यूके का क्रेडिट स्कोर चाहिए, क्योंकि यूके का क्रेडिट स्कोर या यूके का डॉक्यूमेंट इसलिए क्योंकि मेरी यूके में इनकम है. तो आपको मेरी सैलरी स्लिप चाहिए, जहाँ मैं कहाँ काम करता हूँ मेरी अपॉइंटमेंट लेटर चाहिए, आपको मेरा एक बैंक स्टेटमेंट चाहिए कि वाकई में वो सैलरी आ रही है या कितनी आ रही है, और वो बैंक स्टेटमेंट में मेरे खर्चे भी हैं कि मैंने कितना कमाता हूँ और मेरा आउटगोइंग महीने का घर खर्च में कितना जाता है. फिर मेरे को एक यूके का क्रेडिट रिपोर्ट देना पड़ता है, क्योंकि इंडिया का क्रेडिट रिपोर्ट और यूके का क्रेडिट रिपोर्ट दोनों इंटरलिंक्ड नहीं है.
समझ गई मैं आपकी बात. तो सबसे पहले तो OCI कार्ड हो आपका, उसके बाद आपका यहाँ का क्रेडिट स्कोर, यहाँ का बैंक स्टेटमेंट, इनकम, आउटगोइंग, एनी लाइबिलिटी एंड लोन्स and credit score report and all that we need, and then we perfect.
Just
So
gives him confidence to the client that I am able to borrow an X amount, so that I'm going to put my 10%, 20% deposit, but the lender, India Bulls, is ready, or the other lenders are ready to give me the remaining money. So that gives him now confidence to go and talk positively to a developer that if I want to buy in Mumbai, I want to buy in Bangalore, he can sit across the developer or look online their projects and then decide that this is my eligibility, this is my budget, and now I can go ahead and buy.
okay, so let me get to you, the developer now. So when a person comes to you, like मैं आई हूँ आपके पास और मैं आपसे कह रही हूँ भाई मुझे घर खरीदना है. So are you going to check all this, or you're going to help me? How does it proceed from there?
No, of course, when you as a client comes and meet us, okay, let's say you want to buy a property, so we first check what is your interest, what is the reason behind that, whether it's a purely investment or you have a long term to keep and reside there. The second thing, we check the financials from your end, whether you have already properties here in India, what are the portfolio and income you have. Because if you think to go for a loan, the first thing you have to have eligibility for that. And if not, then you should have a financial backup that you're buying a property in India and you've got surplus to pay to the builder like us if you're buying. So we check at initial stage itself when the customer meets us, I want to buy a property. So what is the property cost, what is the property is looking at, and what is the process we can follow, whether the loan or a self-funding, what is eligible. And then we take it forward. कि खरीद रहे हैं तो कैसे खरीद रहे हैं, अभी प्रोसेस कैसे करना है, वेदर लोन लेने में कंफर्टेबल हैं, लोन हो सकता है होम लोन के नहीं, या सेल्फ फंडिंग है, और फिर आगे बढ़ते हैं कि हाँ क्या चाहिए उन्हें.
अच्छा, अब एक बहुत ही तीखा सवाल हम आपसे करने वाले हैं कि यहाँ पे तो हमें सारा वाइट में खरीदना होता है, पर इंडिया में अभी भी, अब शायद कम हुआ हो, मुझे तो पता नहीं, आप बताएंगे मुझे कि ये ब्लैक और वाइट का हम कैसे मैनेज करें फिर.
इंडिया में भी ब्लैक ऐसा नहीं है. इफ यू सी any which way it was not there in India. To certain extent it was.
Come on, let's talk.
Yeah, it
Let's
is.
talk. Let's talk.
If you say now, even the bankers and investors, they know how the transactions happening. First of all, let's example, if the people are buying here property, and as a developer we come in, everything is in white, because 80% people go for a loan, and if they're going for a loan for 80% of funding, 20% they have to pay, which will come in white. So
I think
Split that before,
yeah.
I just want to come in. Normally in a transaction where there is loan, there is no black component because the 20% is checked by the banker that it goes from the client's account.
Achha.
Principally, black was never there in a primary transaction. When you buy a property in UK or in India, anywhere in the world, there's a primary transaction, there's a secondary transaction. The primary transaction is typically with a developer where the black component was always low. Secondary transaction was where the black money was always high in India. That's called a resale apartment. मैं आपका घर खरीद रहा हूँ, आपको आपका टैक्स बचाना था, because when you sell a flat you are liable to pay capital gains tax. तो आप वो बचाने के चक्कर में बोलेंगे मैंने घर खरीदा 1 करोड़ का, मुझे 1.5 करोड़ में बेचना है, बट मैं दिखाऊंगा 120, मैं बाकी 30 कैश ले लूंगा कि मैं बचा दूं.
तो ये आपका कहने का मतलब है कि आप डेवलपर से सीधे खरीद रहे हैं तो उसमें ब्लैक नहीं है.
because if you see 80% properties में जो हैं,
Let's believe it that way.
So I'll tell you, I think there's been also I think India में that belief is that बहुत सा cash transaction होता है. Of course now demonetization के बाद everybody is definitely going to think twice. But I think more than anything it's the responsibility of the developer. and I mean corporate governance and these things come into play where you have to make sure that these kind of transactions don't happen. And like Percy said, the first 20% is checked by the bank. For us, I mean, at least the group that I represent, we don't believe in absolutely in our existence. We have not even looked at one transaction where we've accepted any cash. So again, I keep repeating that it is that trust, faith, which gives confidence to also a buyer out here that things are streamlined, and that's where I feel a very interesting subject on RERA coming in and creating that whole transparency.
पहले आप रेरा बता दें पूरा.
So RERA is the Real Estate Act that has come into play now. It basically gives more power to the consumer, if I have to keep it very simple. There is a lot more accountability of the developer now, committing timelines, delivering projects to the quality that has been committed, in the time frame that has been committed. So now there is a lot of pressure on developers. So you'll find a scenario now, a lot of unprofessional developers who will start moving out because they won't be able to bring themselves in, or everybody needs to align themselves in as per the RERA Act. So it gives more power to the consumer and belief and transparency in the system. So these are very interesting times of buying property in India, I feel.
Brilliant. So let me just quickly get on to this RERA. RERA में consumer की power तो समझ में आया, उसको वो कैसे इस्तेमाल कर सकता है?
So
What are the powers that he has?
So just to come back and just inform our clients, like every institution has a regulator. For India Bulls, it is the Reserve Bank of India. So if we don't follow a conduct, somebody can go to Reserve Bank and complain against us or any other Indian bank. Same way now for the developers, there is a regulator in each state for them to conduct themselves in an X way. So the part one starts is, first of all, the developer needs to adhere to all the conditions in terms of...
वो समझ में आ गया. How does the consumer use it?
So consumer can use, it's a very online facility. You can go to the state, typically Maharashtra, so it's RERA. They go and check, for example, Mahindra's. They go and check his Mumbai project, Pune project. Now he said, this is the plan for a 20-story building. This is the permission received. This is the timeline to be completed. This is the brochure. This is the clubhouse. This is XYZ. Now what is put has to be delivered. Earlier that was not the norm. He could have made changes if he wanted to. Now he cannot do that, what is committed. If the flat is sold to you, Lavina, saying that there is a 10,000 square feet clubhouse and the building will be completed in 3 years, it has to be. Otherwise, the client can go online, show those documents, put up an application. There is an arbitrage committee right now. They can sit together to settle some of the smaller claims, assuming there's a dispute between the borrower, the customer and the developer, and solve it. If that doesn't happen, then there's a compensation to the customer based on the market fair value.
So this can be done online?
Completely online. They can log on, they can go and put up a complaint, and within 7 days they'll get the reply, and they have an opportunity to even go face to face with the developer and now sort it, which is actually happening in the last 60 days.
So the person sitting, I mean, you do an online application.
Exactly.
Who is the legal person sitting on it? So who makes this decision, these decisions?
So I don't know if Abhay wants to brief.
So the RERA body is in place now. So I think like Percy said, the first stage is for going and registering your project. So if you see now, all our communications will have a RERA number. So
Right.
now,
So that's a very important
yes.
thing.
So RERA is for projects. So projects that have received their OC or have a certain size criteria possibly do not fall under that. But now going forward, every project needs to register itself under RERA, get that RERA number, put that number on their communication while they send it out to customers. And then after that, like Percy said, if there's any dispute, it is settled by the RERA body in
तो
place.
आपका नंबर है एक रेरा. हम as a
Every
consumer
project has its individual RERA number.
और वो
Yeah.
रेरा नंबर वो प्रोजेक्ट ऑनलाइन रेरा की
That means
वेबसाइट
that
पर होगा.
project has been registered online. All documents have been submitted. The body has accepted it and registered it as a RERA approved project.
Okay.
And then only it's allowed to be marketed to customers.
So first thing is if a project is not RERA approved, please don't go near it.
Yes.
100%.
That's one tip I think that I
That's the first
understand.
tip. Perfect, yes.
Perfect, isn't it?
Yes.
So now that the project is RERA registered, as a consumer, do I need to register myself as well, or only when I have a complaint?
No, so only when you have a complaint, but you can also go and do your own homework. I mean, what all has been committed on it, who is allowed to promote these projects. Everybody needs to now register themselves to promote this project, including the developer, any of our partners. Everything has to be now online on this.
Okay.
So what happens is, as a customer, if I'm sitting in London, और मुझे विवांसा का प्रोजेक्ट बैंगलोर में मैंने शुभम जी से बात की यहाँ ये इवेंट में आके और पसंद है, but I want to go and do my due diligence. तो one way is I can ask my family, आप जाके देखिए साइट है, काम चल रहा है.
Correct.
But part two is I can go to the Bangalore Karnataka RERA site.
Right.
write the developer's RERA number, and then get everything what is registered.
Perfect.
If he's not registered, I'll question him why is he not registered. Okay, and obviously I may not go ahead. But when I find out that he's registered, that means the Karnataka government has given their stamp saying that the plans, the approvals, what is committed will be delivered. If he doesn't deliver, now I have a body to go and say, he has promised me this in London, he didn't deliver, and he's liable to pay me compensation or my capital money back, the deposit what I pay with interest.
And is there a time frame in which a person's complaint is settled in RERA?
It is, yeah.
So I'll tell you, these are very initial days. I mean, the whole industry and everybody is getting used to it. Of course, it depends on the kind of dispute also, but it's very early to comment on this. But there are cases that are...
Yes, the maximum timeline what they have decided as of now, RERA is 90 days. That earlier
Achha, in Maharashtra RERA. So RERA, Gujarat RERA, Karnataka RERA.
Getting into that.
So they have said the 90 days is the maximum time wherein they can resolve the complaint, and they'll have to. They have decided that.
90 days mein aapko
90
resolve karna hai.
Also, to add a point, as a lender, India Bulls and other financial companies have also now decided, post meeting with the RBI, that they will not fund any project that is not RERA certified. So now that developer either commits himself to RERA, or in his project, his customers will never get a loan from any bank or housing finance company.
So in Maharashtra language, what lag gayi developers ki?
No, what nahi lagi, it has been more systematic. Yeah. It's been more systematic.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but I think that also gets confidence to, at least where we are sitting today, Lavina, it has got great confidence to the customers. Now today, if Mandeep goes and meets any of his clients, who have been buying properties in UK, if first time buyer in India, now he knows that there's a body. Mandeep can show him everything and say, now what? Now you decide where you want to buy.
Achha.
That has given them great confidence now.
Okay.